All right, let's move into midfield. Adam, give me your midfielders because this is where it gets a little tricky.
So the three midfielders that they had for me were Ozzy Alonso, Chara, and Valeri.
You mean two of those three that you didn't even put in your best 11 of the decade,
We're not doing this again.
We absolutely are. I'm
No.
furious.
No.
I'm still furious that you
We're
did.
not doing this.
That's so disrespectful. Anyways.
Oh my God. The other ones I had were Darlington Nagbe, Michael Bradley. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if he's on this list. Is Kyle Beckerman on this list?
Kyle Beckerman is on this list.
Okay, just making sure. And Nico Ladero is not on this list, but like, what the hell's going on? I don't know what Nico Ladero did to piss MLS off, other than be really good all the time. But like, the man gets zero respect from everybody.
So you're putting Beckerman in there?
I don't want to.
Okay.
But I think you kind of have to acknowledge it.
So you put Alonso, Beckerman, Bradley, Chara, Nagbe, Valeri, and then who's your seven?
Alonso, Chara, Valeri, Nagbe, Ladero, Bradley, Beckerman.
Well, you can't put Ladero. He's not on the list.
I will 100% put Ladero in.
You're not putting Ladero on the list. We're picking from a list of players.
This is stupid. I don't agree with your list.
It's not my list. I disagree with it too, but here we are.
This list is stupid.
It is.
I guess David Beckham. It's not. I mean, he was kind of beginning of the decade, but.
So you've got Alonso, Beckerman, Beckham, Bradley, Chara, Nagbe, Valeri. Those are your seven.
That
sounds.
Yeah. Are you gonna yell at me because I didn't put Dak in there?
No. I have him, but I wouldn't. I'm not upset with you to do that. Okay. I put Daxon over Kyle.
Yeah, that's fair.
I had the same all across the board. I had Ozzy, Beckham, Bradley, Chara, Nagbe, Valeri, and then Dax over Kyle. Beckham was my asterisk player that I didn't want to put in there because of the time he spent here. But when you look at the criteria of being impactful across all, made huge impacts in the sport, it had to be Beckham. He is the reason MLS is what it is today, whether we want to accept that or not, right?
Yeah.
So, Connor, what else you got?
Well, I ended up with a lot more midfielders than I thought I would have, just because a couple of them are fake midfielders. They're really defenders. I tended to go more towards I favored more of the long game. So the guys that were here for a long time and have done it for a long time, I kind of favored them a little bit more. So like, while I totally understand having Beckham on the list, I didn't put him on mine just because focusing just on the 2010s, he basically had 2 seasons in the 2010s. And like influence-wise, no doubt, no question, he's probably, I wouldn't even say probably, he is the most influential player to have an impact on MLS. Like, no question. And he should have like awards and everything named after him. I'm glad he has a franchise and all that. I just think that if we're looking at just the 2010s, I wasn't going to pick someone who only had 2 seasons in the 2010s. Otherwise, I would have considered Zlatan or Vela as well. So, with that being said, I have Beckerman, DeMarcus Beasley, who I think should really be a defender.
Well, let's okay. So you put Beasley in there. Okay, I'm about to say the ones that you picked who were midfielders that you thought were defenders. Just forget them and pick the midfielders you picked.
Okay, well, I'll mention them because I didn't mention them with defenders, but
okay,
the ones who should be defenders that are apparently midfielders, I picked DeMarcus Beasley and Graham Zusi.
Okay.
And then in terms of actual midfielders, I picked Beckerman, Chara. I went with Brad Davis, even though his whole career wasn't in the 2010s. I feel like he played a decent chunk.
Mm-hmm.
I also have Nagbe. A little bit of favoritism on this one, but I put Big Jeff in there.
Oh, you're off
course
you're
you
off the
did.
podcast. There
It's
are
favoritism.
there are picks that you can make that are like arguable, and then there's Jeff Lorenowitz that you
It's
can't put
favoritism.
anywhere near.
I'm
I
just
don't
telling
no,
you now, it's favoritism.
you can't even use favoritism as an excuse. That's like putting Will Johnson in this list of top 25 players of all time. That's awful. That's
I wouldn't
so
put
bad.
Will Johnson.
When I was looking at the list to pick that last one, when Andrew made me change, I was looking at Jeff. I was like, "Oh, Andrew's gonna yell at me if I say Jeff right now."
That's awful. That's so bad.
I have Diego Valeri, I have Ozzy, and I have Dax.
Okay. Interesting.
That's it.
So yeah, that's like I said. For the most part, there's like so. I'm trying to keep track of all the ones that we have in common and who's picking what. And I am like crying that I have to put Jeff Lorenowitz on this list. I can't, Connor, you.
You want me to put Michael Bradley instead?
I don't want Michael Bradley here either. But if we're gonna pick Michael Bradley versus Jeff Lorenowitz, I mean, come on. It's not a really hard decision there, bud.
All right, then I'll change it, and I'll
No,
make it.
don't change
No,
it.
because I've been debating, and I wanted to put this guy in my list.
I don't want you to
I'm
change your
making it.
bias.
I'm making it. I'm making it. Dwayne De Rosario now.
I don't want you to change your bias list just because I'm yelling at you.
I'll take the bias out. I should. That's why I didn't put Parkhurst in here as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, but I think Darlington Nagbe, while he doesn't have a lot of silver, I mean he does. He's got 2 MLS Cups, but I think he is probably one of the more overlooked, and we've talked about it, right? Overlooked midfielders in the league. Dax has his 3 shields. Diego Chara and Alonso are both just destructive midfielders. David Beckham, we talked about. Michael Bradley did the treble, and Diego Valeri is MVP of a league season that he won. He won the cup. So all of that's there, and then you got Jeff Lorenowitz.